Hello everybody, this is pt.16 and welcome back to some more Miles Edgeworth Ace Attorney investigations to the Prosecutor's Path, the Inherited Turnabout. In the previous episode, we had battled with Judge Courtney on whether the IS-7 incident case should be open or not, and we had found out that Gustavia has recovered, and so we began interrogating him. Unfortunately, he's keeping silent, which is leading us here to Logic Chess. If you like what you see, leave a like down below, comment if you have anything to say, subscribe to me if you haven't already, and share with your friends so they can join in on this investigation. The truth has been hidden for 18 years, and that ends today. Why did you decide to collaborate with Isaac Dover? So Dover and I were already acquaintances, even before the contest began. Since he was interested in the contest, we simply decided to enter it together. Joining forces with the sculptor, you weren't confident in your own abilities. You know nothing about me. We wanted to make great works together. You couldn't make it on your own? I will reveal all your lies for what they are. Oops. Shit. Is that all? You bore me with your empty threats, Sir Prosecutor. I need to be careful not to make careless statements. Shit. Must read my opponent's reactions and emotions and strike with the right word. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. I got it now. Dover's son and my own attended the elementary school, the same elementary school. We all got along well from the start. Really? So, were you going to share the title of the world's greatest pastry chef together? Gotcha. My condition may be worsening. I should get back to the infirmary. What? Wait! I was too passive there. Oh, shit, man. Okay. Alright. Okay, wait and see. Wake up! As expected, he pretends to meditate when things aren't going his way. Mr. Dover was a sculptor. I doubt he had any interest in the title of world's greatest pastry chef. In that case, where did his true goal lie? Indeed, my goal was the title of the world's greatest pastry chef. However, Sir Dover's goal was the grand prize, the angel's recipe. I see. You cooperated because your interests were aligned. But there must have been a reason why your partnership soured. Sir Prosecutor, I am the victim of a poisoning. If you're going to suspect me in this manner, perhaps I'd better return to the infirmary. Wait a moment. In that case, you should end things soon. I am not a patient man. Seems he's trying to leave. I can't let that happen. He's still hiding something. Next, I should ask him about his true goal. Let's hope I don't do as bad this time. I need to keep the pressure on him, while being cautious of the time. What was your goal besides the title? Didn't you have another goal besides the title? The title alone doesn't seem to have much value. How dare the likes of you insult the title of a confectionery artist? My only goal was the title itself. I had no interest in anything else. My dream was to become the world's greatest pastry chef. "18 years ago, I was lacking in design sense. However, things are different now." Oh? Are you saying you have improved at your craft? Exactly, for I have trained at the Republic of Zhangfa. Yes. At the time, I also studied Mr. Master's work. I would often watch his show with my son. So, you were studying Mr. Master's work to improve your own skills. If you had his recipes, perhaps it would have been easier for you to become the world's greatest. Perhaps. To a pastry chef, Sir Master's recipes were worth their weight in gold. You were interested in his recipes? If becoming the world's greatest pastry chef was your goal, you should have also been interested in the grand prize, the Angel's Recipe. The recipes of the world's greatest pastry chef. I would be lying if I said that I wasn't interested. However, I wouldn't think that simply being interested in it would be a problem. I wonder about that. The Angel's Recipe's true nature was not for making desserts, but cures. And all of the contest participants should have been aware of that. Looks like I'm getting close. He isn't meditating anymore. Now just slowly but surely drive him into a corner. Alright, here we go. Next, I'll ask what he planned to use the recipe book for. Did you intend to make, did you intend to win the Angel's Recipe and use it to make desserts? Of course! If I had obtained their Angel's Recipe, I was going to use it in my training. I hear the Angel's Recipe was worth a lot of money. I don't know the exact details, but that recipe book was much too valuable to be sold. You seem to know a lot about the book. You seem to know quite a lot about the Angel's Recipe. Okay. Slowly but surely. It was explained to all the contest participants at the beginning of the contest. In that case, you must know about the recipe book's true nature. It was not a recipe book for desserts at all. Impressive, Sir Prosecutor. So you know the true nature of the Angel's Recipe. The Angel's Recipe. Some have called it the ultimate recipe book. It contained formulas for new medicines that were not yet on the market. You knew the recipes were actually formulas for the new medicines. This could be a useful clue. Did you know the recipe book's value? The Angel's Recipe. Did you know it's true valuable? Silly question. If it contained Sir Master's best dessert recipes, any pastry chef would be worth their salt and would want it. Looks like that clue will come in handy. You know what the recipes actually are. You may have studied desserts as design in Zheng Fa, however your skills in lying could use some more work. You just said earlier that the Angel's Recipe contained formulas for medicines. You weren't as interested in the desserts, you wanted the medicine formulas. You wanted to become a pharmacist. Oh shit, nope. Nope, fucked it. You know the recipe. That was stupid. That was a really stupid move. You needed new medicine. Now, why would a pastry chef such as yourself be so interested in medicines? Perhaps what you were really after was the information about the new medicine? I've underestimated you, Sir Prosecutor. Yes. My goal was more than just the title of the world's greatest pastry chef. At the time, my son was ill. I needed the recipe for medicine. Your son was ill? Tell me more about that. To protect my son's honor, I can say no more. Judging by the worried look on his face, I've struck a nerve. Next, I need him to tell me more about his son's illness. I can't go for it straight on. This is it! This will be my final move of the game. What was your son like? What kind of person was your son? Ah, my boy. He loved the desserts I made. My boy. Sorry. Did you enter the contest solely for your son? Sir Prosecutor, you can never understand the feelings of a father has for his son. I wanted nothing more than to cure my boy's illness. No, I don't doubt that. Until the semifinals, my son would always drop by the contest venue to play. Is that so? Wouldn't he get in your way? I doubt you had time to care for your son while you were challenging Mr. Master. That may be so, but I wanted to grant my son's wish. He said he always wanted to be the first to eat my desserts. Your son sounds pretty healthy to me. About your son, if he was so sick, wouldn't it be difficult for him to come and play with you? My son's illness wasn't life-threatening. That might serve as a clue. What? Okay. What was the name? What was the name of your son's illness? Mr. Prosecutor, how insensitive of you! My son was seriously ill. I will not be discussing this with the likes of you. You just said it wasn't life-threatening. You told me your son's illness was not life-threatening. Is there really a need to be so secretive about it? It was enough to keep him from living a normal life. That must have been difficult for your son. I tried everything I could to cure his illness. It wasn't fair for the poor boy. He could never taste the desserts he loved so much. Wait a minute. Was it a taste disorder? The Angel's recipe contains a cure for a certain illness. A remedy that could also cure Mr. Master's taste disorder. What? He had it too? He had it too, I see. So your son suffers from a taste disorder. No! I didn't think you'd figure it out so quickly. In order to cure your son's taste disorder, you needed the recipe book. Wasn't that your true goal? It is as you say. Based on how he's acted up until now, it appears he is still hiding something. Seems I don't have enough clues to proceed with this line of questioning. Really? Really? Okay. Did the Angel's recipe have only one cure? Yes. No, the only cure. The medicine is being sold everywhere now. At the time, the recipe book was my one and only option. That's why I continued making my desserts, without joining the others for tea time. So you weren't that interested in what Mr. Master was making. You sure seemed confident in your chances of winning. I couldn't be bothered to pay attention to the other contestants' desserts. You had interest in Mr. Master's works. You just said earlier that you studied Mr. Master's works. In addition, if your goal was to win the contest in order to get medicine from the formula, you must have been curious about the other contestants' entries as well. That's where that evidence comes in. There was time to sample the other desserts during the contest, but none of their entries had any flavor. So I didn't want to eat any of it. I suspect I may have been a bit nervous as well. So everything he ate tasted flavorless. This could serve as a useful clue. Oops. Oh shit. I've run this line of questioning to its conclusion. Let's try and... Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you, game. Alright. Let's skip ahead a little bit, but it wasn't life-threatening. The taste disorder. Wasn't that your true goal? So as you say, looks like that clue will come in handy. Didn't you also have the illness? Being unable to taste anything, regardless of what you eat. Such a bitter illness. That reminds me, didn't you say something similar earlier? None of their entries had any flavor, so I didn't feel like eating any of it. Perhaps your son wasn't the only one who suffered from a taste disorder. Ugh! It's hard to imagine being a successful pastry chef without a sense of taste. Perhaps what you really wanted was to cure yourself. That's completely ludicrous. 18 years ago, I made those desserts all by myself. Didn't you collaborate with Mr. Dover? Doug yourself, you're in grave there, buddy. Seems you caught yourself in a contradiction. Didn't you cooperate with Isaac Dover in the contest? You can hardly say that you made your desserts all by yourself. No! You must take great pride in your abilities as a pastry chef, but to betray your pride and cooperate with another contestant, you did it all to cure your own disease. Well done, Sir Prosecutor. It is as you say. The one with the taste disorder is not my son. It is I. No one knew. I've kept it a secret for 18 years. Doesn't matter how long a secret is kept. If you lie before me, I will expose it. Dame Gustavia and Isaac Dover were both trying to obtain the recipes for the new medicines. Gustavia to cure his condition, and Dover most likely to sell the recipe book for money. For this reason, they entered the contest as a collaborative effort, and with that, checkmate. Oof. That was actually kind of difficult. It shouldn't have been, but it was. I have never told this to anyone. Well done. It, as you say, I developed a taste disorder 18 years ago. Taste disorder? It was a severe disorder. I was unable to discern any flavor at all. It's the one illness a pastry chef dreads above all. Those symptoms sound a bit different from Mr. Master's taste disorder. Mr. Master's condition is known as hypoglycemia. It simply causes a decreased sensitivity to certain specified flavors. Sure, it's called Mr. Master's much pain too. After all, no medicine was available to cure it 18 years ago. In order to cure your taste disorder, you would need Mr. Master's angel recipe. And that's why you entered the contest, am I correct? That was one of my goals. I still have my sights set on the title of World's Greatest Pastry Chef. When it comes to making desserts, I won't lose to anyone. Even without the ability to taste, I still have the utmost confidence in my flavors. Oh? So I presume you also prepared your desserts in the finals with the intent to win. It goes without saying. According to what Mr. Shields told us earlier, the evaluation of Mr. Gustavia's entry was... Up until the semi-finals, Mr. Gustavia's flavors and design were to my liking. Unfortunately, both the taste and appearance of his finals entry left much to be desired. It seems the dessert she made for the finals was not rated highly in regards to flavor. Mr. Gustavia, you would tell us about how you made your desserts during the finals. Very well. It seems I must teach you upstarts a lesson. Let me see. Okay, man, that took a long time. Dover and I cooperated until the finals. I handled the flavor, he was in charge of the design. However, for the finals, I wanted to challenge the master with my own skills. I helped Sir Dover make his entry, but I made mine completely on my own. If the flavor of my entry wasn't good enough, my own lack of training was to blame. How about that, Sir Prosecutor? Is this the truth of 18 years ago? Can't find any contradictions in his testimony. Well, of course he isn't going to fess up that easily. This guy's been on the run for 18 years, after all. Guess we'll have to keep on pressing him until he breaks, huh? Yes. Alright, let's see what we got. So Dover and I cooperated in the finals. I handled the flavor. He was in charge of the design. Hold it! So Mr. Dover took care of the design while you handled the flavor. So Dover was sculptor by trade. His sense of design was splendid. But he was just an amateur chef. We combined our strengths by working together. You never did have much design sense, did you, Mr. Gustavia? It's time to find out how he did. Bam! What do you think of this? That's the symbol of Zheng Fa. Wow, a phoenix. That's really good. Whoa, you really have improved these past 18 years. Behold the fruits of my 18 years of training. I put my life and limb on the line for my dessert skills. It's true that I cooperated with Serdova 18 years ago, up until the finals. However, for the finals, I wanted to challenge Sir Master with my own skills. Hold it! So, you were really serious about the title of World's Greatest Pastry Chef? Yes, confectionery is my life. Naturally, I wanted to be the world's greatest. But back then, I was still inexperienced, and I was no match for the better chef. But your goal was also to obtain the Angel's recipe, right? Wouldn't the recipe book be worth more to you than the title? Ugh. I will not stand by and watch you badger a convalescent man like this. My gavel shall protect you, Mr. Gustavia. I realize he's still recuperating, but... Mr. Gustavia, do not yield to this devilish prosecutor. Now then, please continue with your testimony. I helped Serdova make his entry, but I made mine completely on my own. Hold it! So you helped Mr. Dover with his dessert, but made yours all by yourself. No matter how you look at it, this seems odd. Why didn't Mr. Dover assist you? It matters not how it seems. It's the truth. I do not know what Sir Dover was thinking. So to prove someone is lying about something that happened 18 years ago. Okay, does your secret weapon also work as a lie detector? If it did, I'd have already stolen Mr. Edgeworth's spotlight. There's no need for that. I will expose this man's lies myself. Dame Gustavia, please continue with your testimony. The flavor of my entry wasn't good enough. My own lack of training was to blame. Hold it! Up until the finals, I heard that you received high praise for the flavor of your desserts. Was there some sort of accident during the finals? Nothing of the sort. I simply wasn't unable to taste my work due to my taste disorder. My intuition must have been off. That's all. Then was your intuition fine while making Mr. Dover's entry? How could there be such a huge difference between the finals and the previous day? We're not getting anywhere at this rate. Should I change the topic? So, you're sure there wasn't anything different between the semi-finals and the finals? Yes, that's right. Aside from not cooperating with Serdova, the finals weren't much different from the semi-finals. Weren't much different, huh? What about... Hold it! So you were still able to make your desserts without Mr. Dover's assistance? I may have lacked design sense, but I was confident in the flavor. Apart from the design, there was no major difference between my finals and semi-final entries. Oh, the entries. Apart from the flavor. Apart from the design, there was no major differences between my final... Huh? That sure is strange. It's not Uncle Ray who remembers it. I'm pretty sure both the look and taste of your final desserts scored poorly. then there's no way he would have won the contest. Even the flavor, which was he was so confident about, failed to materialize during the finals. Something must have changed besides Mr. Dover's cooperation. But what? All those unanswered questions 18 years ago. I should already have the keys to unravel them. I must recall all the information that Mr. Shields and my father gathered. Salt, sugar, and blood detected. Sugar matches the light blue liquid found. Salt. Sugar found in the fountain also appeared. No. What could have changed? Alright, let's see what we have in terms of the other one. Hold it. Alright, what about Mr. Dover? You knew Mr. Dover before you entered the contest, right? Yes, I knew him well. Sir Dover's son and my own attended the same elementary school. That might be it. Okay, hold it! Then it wasn't a coincidence that you both participated in the contest. I heard about the contest, so I made the suggestion to Sir Dover. He always wanted money for a sculpting business. If I recall, Mr. Dover was a greedy man who was always after more money. Is the Angel's recipe? So is the Angel's recipe really worth that much? Okay, the recipe book was certainly valuable 18 years ago. But nowadays, most of the medicines it contains are available commercially. Ah, that's a shame. In the end, it seems that each of the contestants had the Angel's recipe as their goal. All those okay. You have the picture. Oh, he's eating a dessert. It's not elementary school. There's not a difference between the semifinals and the finals. Right, the sons didn't come to visit. This photo depicts your son. We know he came to visit you up until the semifinals. That is correct. What does that have to do with anything? Your son, who always came to see you up until the semifinals, was not present for the finals. And then it was only in the finals that your flavor judged poorly. I don't believe this to be a mere coincidence. Your son's visits must have been very important to you, were they not? Our father can work miracles when his son is watching. My son cheered me on. I was able to make the most delicious desserts. Mr. Gustavia sure sounds like a great father, doesn't he? If what he's saying is the whole truth, one could say so. But just hearing his son's cheers wouldn't be enough to change the taste of his desserts. A confectioner confident in the sense of taste develops a taste disorder. It would have been difficult for him to maintain the taste of it. His son was a taste tester. Your son came to cheer you on. Was that really all he did? You seem very doubtful, Sir Prosecutor. In that case, I'll turn this around and ask you. What else could my elementary school son have done besides cheer me on? He tasted your desserts. I'm sure your elementary school son would have remembered the taste of your desserts. Of course, my son had always loved my desserts. In that case, he would have been able to taste test your desserts in your place. Ugh! What did you say? Earlier, you told us that you have a taste disorder. No one else knew about your taste disorder. If Mr. Dover had found out, he would have ended your partnership. After all, you were in charge of the flavor. Your son didn't just cheer you on, he also helped you determine if your desserts tasted correct.
I see. Mr. Dover's desserts was made the day before, so it still tasted good.
What are you saying? It's quite amusing, Sir Prosecutor. You said that my elementary school son assists me as a taste tester. You are insulting my pride. Your pride? It's true, I had no sense of design 18 years ago. However, I won't lose to anyone when it comes to flavor. You claim I would cast aside my pride and rely on my son. Don't get carried away with your foolish conjecture. You upstart! In that case, I'm sure your son can confirm my theory if it's mere conjecture. Unfortunately for you, I no longer have a son. What? After my taste disorder was cured, I went to training in Zingfa immediately. During that time, I severed all ties with my son. What? Don't tell me. You would even abandon your own son.
That's not all. Even today, the whereabouts of his son are unknown. The police have been searching, but they haven't been able to find any traces of him.
You wish to confirm your theory? I welcome you to try. Desserts are the only thing that are important to me. After regaining my sense of taste, my son is no longer mattered. Order in the court. Mr. Gustavi's actions are certainly inhumane. However, we are not here to judge whether or not he is a good father. Prosecutor Edgeworth, I believe this is your loss. After all, there's no evidence left from 18 years ago that can prove your theories. Mr. Edgeworth, is there nothing we can do? At this rate, we'll never find out the truth. Detective Gumshoe, where are those results? I wonder whose blood it could have been. I'll ask forensics to look into that, sir. Alright. Where are the test results? I entrusted Detective Gumshoe with the last piece of evidence. If only I knew who that blood belonged to.
Miles, there's still one thing that bothers Uncle Ray. Is Mr. Gustavi's only reason for coming to the art gallery to check on the body.
If he only wanted to confirm the body's presence, he wouldn't have needed to open the case.
That's right. Is there a way we can prove this?
There's one way. We just needed that evidence from Detective Gumshoe. Prosecutor Edgeworth, what are you talking about? Mr. Edgeworth, sorry to keep you waiting, sir! Just the person I was talking about. Detective Gumshoe, I trust you have the test results. I believe we're going to end it off here. In the next episode of Miles Edgeworth Ace Attorney Investigations 2, The Prosecutor's Path, The Inherited Turnabout, we're going to find out whose blood it belongs to, and most likely, knowing how these games go, it's going to flip the entire case around. I will see you guys later.